Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and our Kings were here. Harlem Eubank in Brighton, home city. Got a huge fight as well, Tyrone McKenna. Admittedly, look, he's taken himself off to Germany for his last fight. Says it was the fittest he's been. He's done the same again for you. How excited, how motivated are you to go and put a performance on this weekend?
I'm excited and I'm ready. I've prepared well myself. I know what Tyrone is. I know the threat he poses, and I'm ready to go in there and put on a dominant display against a Tyrone that's, I would say, peaking. After his last performance, as you say, he's taken himself away. He's in great form right now, and that's when I want to go in there and show what I can do against him.
Is that better for you? Because Tyrone McKenna, you'd be forgiven for the last few years. I'm not saying he's not taking it seriously, but in terms of he's openly admitted, look, I have taken myself away. Is that better for you getting a victory over this version of him where he is admittedly taking it very serious? He said, I saw the face-off between you. He's saying, look, I've been in tough fights. I've been tested, almost questioning you. Does that help you in a way that look, this ain't a walkover or someone you're going to be unexpected? You know what's coming on Friday night.
Definitely, that's exactly the version of Tyrone that I want. I want the best version to turn up, and that's the version I'm ready to come in and answer all them questions against. I'll answer all his questions in the ring, and that really excites me. It excites me that he's at his best right now. He's coming off a knockout victory, and I'm going to go out there and put on a dominant display against him.
I know you're not the one for the back and forth and I'll say it in layman's terms, the bullshit of you're this, that and the other. You're quite reserved. You let your talking happen in the ring. But one thing that was interesting, he sort of tried to hold court a little bit. And I know, look, you know each other. Everyone's got the same circle of friends in boxing. Was it a bit surreal seeing someone, obviously, you've been in and around for the years, and he's almost trying to question you and question your heart and, what have you got, what it takes when we go deep waters? Because we've seen him in the trenches. We know that he can swim. But did you find that a bit surreal because obviously you are familiar with who he is?
I think it's surface level because deep down he knows. And if he doesn't know, he's going to find out on Friday. And that's what I see when he's prodding and poking. I see someone that's desperately trying to find an edge. But Friday night it's going to become very real.
You say it's going to become very real. Obviously, he's seasoned kind of at this weight. When you look at him, how do you sort of map this fight out? When you look at Tyrone McKenna, it's what you see is what you get on the tin. He says, look, he actually said every fight now between now and the end of his career, it's going to be a war. I'm going to go looking for it. Does that play into your hands a little bit? The fact you've got this bull coming forward, in terms of how well you time your opponents, does that sort of music to your ears a little bit?
I hope he comes with that attitude, because it's one thing saying it, but usually he does back it up. And I hope that he does, because that's exactly the version of him that we want. We're prepared for whatever he decides to do in there. I think I've got an answer for everything. But if he comes to bring a war, as he says, it's beautiful.
What does this fight do for you? I know you have ambitions of being world champion. There's some big names. Fights have been on, fights have been off with certain fighters. But a win over Tyrone McKenna, what does that do for you?
It puts me on the path to that world title opportunity that I've been shouting about. This will put me into them fights that will get me in a position for a world title by the end of the year. And this is a fight where, it's a huge fight. Back to Brighton for the first fight of the year. So it's a big statement fight, and we want these type of fights to set up the trajectory that I'm after in the sport.
You're sharing this fight card with Michael. Mick's making his return on this card. Is that kind of a nice moment for you? I know it must be for him. You support each other wherever you go, and you get to headline. He's your chief support. It must be a nice feeling for you knowing it's sort of guys are all back together again and in the same place.
It's great. It's great to have him here, and it's great to be on the same card as him. He was meant to get me on at Madison Square Garden on the undercard, but it's turned out that now he's here, and we're sharing the card this way. So it's great to have him here, and it's always good to have him around on these fight weeks and have him close, and he motivates me, and I probably motivate him a little bit as well. So it's great to have one of my brothers like Mick to share the card with me.
Right. Let's just address the the egg in the room, I suppose. Just what's your initial reaction to what was a madness? You know, 1 week of press conferences, obviously, you know, your family, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, that fight's finally on. What have you made of everything, and is it difficult for you? Because obviously we've always said you've carved yourself your own path, your own name. You're a fighter in your own right. Regarding, look, Junior's had to do the same with Senior, and you know it's all sort of one of them where you're all trying to like make it yourself, and you have done that with all the noise around it. What have you sort of made of it? It's been crazy, hasn't it?
It's been pure entertainment, hasn't it? And Junior is carrying the whole promotion, I think. You know, everyone's tuning in to see what he's going to say next, and it's great. I've been as entertained as everyone else. You know, I've had people in random coffee shops that aren't boxing people that are talking about the egg slap, you know, or talking about who's going to win the fight, and you know, it's crazy, you know, what something like that can, how viral it can go. But he's engaged the general public in this fight, and everyone's excited to see it now.
How does that fight end? I know you know who wins, but you know, in terms of the weight class, I know he's uploaded a video saying he's actually been fighting at 154. Conor Benn the last few fights. It's not as big a jump as everyone says. But what do you make of the fight as a whole, and what does Chris Eubank Jr. do to Conor Benn on the night?
I think it's a mismatch, you know, about as much as a mismatch as the pressers have been. You know, he's been mentally, you know, leaps and bounds ahead. And I think that will be no different in the ring.
Well, look, we look forward to seeing you back in action this Friday. You've got good support out again here in Brighton. You know, it's a good tight-knit community, and they're all coming out for you. You got a message for them guys, the people who are paying the hard-earned money to see you put on a display this Friday here in Brighton?
I'm grateful for everyone that's, you know, going to tune in, everyone that's bought tickets to come. Really appreciate the support and the love that we've received. There's a great buzz around the city, and that really humbles me. You know, so I'm grateful for all of you in attendance and watching, you know, through the TV. So live on Channel 5, 10 p.m. Tune in.
Don't miss it. Last one, actually. You must have ambitions of filling up the Amex Stadium. I'm just thinking now you're building it here as well. That must be there. Is that something on your radar? Is it something that you'd say, yeah, it would be nice, but is that something you think about?
That's a dream that I've always had. You know, playing for the club as a kid. It's a moment that will bring my sporting career full circle. You know, getting released from the club at 16, taking up boxing at 18, dedicating myself to the sport for the last 12 years. You know, I think it's a full circle story if I can bring a big fight back to the Amex, and I think we're not too far away.
Well, look, excitement personified this Friday. Harlem Eubank, Tyrone McKenna live on Channel 5. Harlem, I'm going to let you go about your day. It's weighing day tomorrow, and we'll catch up soon. It's good to see you.
Love, man. Appreciate it.